Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. And we're going to do the review for 11/28 of NXT. Of course, they're getting ready for Deadline coming up, but they're going to start off with a tag team title match. Garza and Corella against Tony D and Stax, the champs. And the challengers kind of jump out on them, to get the show started. They jump them before they get in the ring. And the match is good, man, because Garza and Corella, man, they are really, really good. They are, dare I say, main roster worthy. I mean, they're good. You could build a storyline with these guys for sure. But yeah, they jump them coming out and of course do some great moves. Tony and Stax are going to come back, do their great moves. You know, Tony's a big heavy hitter and he looks good in this, and Stax looks good. I mean, this is a good match. The teamwork and the time together with Garza and Corella, they just is undeniable. They do a body slam from the ropes. I mean, just big move after big move. And, you're going to have Stax and Tony D. I've got to look good here, too. I mean, Tony D does that little where he hip tosses Stax over the top rope to the guys on the outside. They did that, and it looked good, man. So everything was good. It's kind of this was kind of a payback match because Garza and Corella jumped them last week. So this is the reason they got the bada boom, bada bing, and Tony D and Stax keep the belts. Good match, good way to start the show off too. Because I mean, after Raw this past week, or just after the last event with the debut of Randy Orton, which I thought was freaking great, and then you had that other dude came in too, that other guy. But they go from there. They got a little promo with in the locker room, with the guys. It's Axiom and Frazier kind of talking, and they're kind of comparing the lifestyles of Baron Corbin and Dragunov, and I guess Dragunov overhears him and takes it the wrong way and comes out in kind of a jerky fashion, but comes out and gets all up in Nathan Frazier's grill and, and challenges him. So, he was Dragunov was the aggressor and kind of a, I guess a good little setup for it, but then you're going to have my guy from Memphis. That's right, Jerry Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, and he's doing his picks for the Iron Survivor Challenge. Now, I have to say, I wasn't too keen on the guy's side. You got Braun Breaker, which is good, but you're going to put him in there with Eddie Thorpe. And that's about as close as you can get to a squash match. And, it was what it was. Or, so he picked that one. And you got Kiana Jordan going against Kiana James. So Jordan and Miss James. I like that. Kiana is freaking great. So she will look good in any match she's in. And they do a little break and they come back and they pretty much put the ladies on out there and get that match started. And Miss James controls it pretty much. Miss Jordan gets a good little start on it, but it's pretty much what you'd expect. Jordan's having some good moves. James looks like she's going to take it. Then all of a sudden, Roxanne shows up out of nowhere and starts ringing the bell, which is a distraction. And Of course, Kiana's going to come over and confront her, which is going to cause the delay. Angle. And she comes back, Jordan comes back and gets the win. They go after that. They start doing these promos from all the guys who are going to be in the Wesley's Fatal 4-Way match. And it's all ex-champs. So they're cutting little promos of each time when these guys were champs. And the first one is Cameron Grimes. And so they're showing him, a younger, a version of that. So that's the first one. Then you've got Alpha Academy cutting one, pretty much challenging Metaphor to like a mixed match, so the ladies can get in there too. And Gable's of course, going to be the lead on this. And man, you cannot have a bad match. It's kind of like with Seth Rollins. If you have a bad match with him, it's your fault, because those guys could have a good match with a broom, as they say. But they challenge Metaphor to a match. And then comes the Chase University press conference about the investigation. So you got Andre Chase in here explaining, much to the surprise, a little bit it showed in facial expressions with Duke and some of the ladies there. But yes, he admitted that he took money enough that it hurt the finances of Chase U, and that he gambled and created debt. I gotta say though, Andre Chase can on the mic can be very professional, very good with the mic. So if they don't give him a push as a wrestler later on, he definitely could do a manager. He definitely could. But I'm sure he wants to go into the other side. A lot more money, a lot more, time. So after that little fiasco, to where, Andre's, claiming he's going to pay everything back and he will make good, but he owns up to everything. So, and then they do a little press conference afterwards, the whole deal. But pretty good job, I guess you could say. Let's see, where do we go from here? Alrighty, there. It is the men's side of the Iron Survival Challenge, and it's Big Braun Breaker going against Eddie Thorpe, and Eddie's got his ribs taped up, so bonsai. There's a target on him there. So and Braun looks serious, and I don't know if I'd want to be across the ring from somebody that's fast and that strong. And he just, in this match, he just controls it, and just it is not a squash match, but it smells of one. Eddie has his times and has little spurts of offense and everything, but Braun, is going to win this, so we see where this is going. Anyway, it's going to be a good on Deadline. It should be a good match, So we will see how that goes. For sure. I don't know what that was, but goodness gracious, scared the crap out of me. Anyway, they go into Trick and Mello. So they show a surveillance video from when Trick got jumped. And lo and behold, it ends up being Lexus King. That's right. He is now officially fully involved in the storyline. And so he is like hiding, and then Trick. And I don't know, when you watch this and go back, what is Trick doing when he comes through the doors? You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch this. He comes through the door, it's like he's celebrating or something, then he walks down a hallway and into another door, and of course, Lexus. follows them in, and then that's all the videotape shows. So there we go, angles. Everywhere we go, we got a way we can go with this. So yeah, but then they've got to show, Trick and Mello getting together too and talking about it. So Trick, of course, is and Mello's now off the hook, and he definitely didn't supposedly do it, even though they didn't show Lexus actually putting his hands on him. So maybe Mello does it, and Lexus comes up and sees it. I mean, a lot of different ways, but they do their little spot with Mello and Trick to where Mello's like, I told you, and Mello wants to get some revenge, and he knows that Lexus has got a match coming up, so he's trying to plan something, and Trick on this one is the kind of calm voice, and he's kind of saying that we don't have to do that anymore. We're better than that now. And he's got the big match coming up at Deadline for the Iron Survivor, and so all of this is coming up. So, and it looks like they agree, and then from there they go into the women's locker room, and of course there's going to be a fight. It involves Roxanne. And you're gonna get something. Roxanne's they've made her into the little firecracker there that's tearing everybody's butt up. And then like I said earlier, the Fatal 4-Way. So we had Cameron Grimes, and now they're gonna show a younger Bronson Reed when he was the North American champ. And man, that guy is humongous. And I guess I didn't pay attention, or maybe I'd forgotten some of the stuff they showed, his little clips, his little highlights. Man, why they don't do more with him on the main roster? They got to do something. That guy's just too good. Way too good. But all right, but from there, earlier Dragunov was coming in all pissed, or it's all ticked off, and well, now we're going to have the match with him and Nathan Frazier. And this is going to be a good match because both of these guys can go. And Nathan Frazier is as fast can be. And Dragunov is a deliberate, everything he does is a deliberate move. It looks like he's playing, and it's almost Mike Tyson used to be that way in the boxing ring back in his day, in his prime. Every move he made was like it was analyzed, and when he threw a punch, it went to a spot, not to your head, not to the side of your head or your rib cage. It went to a spot. But anyway, I got a little carried away. But yeah, and Frazier is great. Dragunov is always going to put out a great match, and this is another one to go back and watch, and this show pretty good, and I gotta say WWE is just they've been on a roll here the last 10 days or so, because they've been they've taken NXT up another level, and now they're taking the main roster up another level, so good stuff here, and this match is good stuff. So you've got the good match, but then the ending, you got to put a good ending on this, and you can't let might as well say it, Mr. Frazier look bad, too bad. So when he does, Dragunov does put him down with that big blow he does, he jumps off the pin at 2. Pulls the not yet, and he hits him with another one of those big punches, and you think, wow, he's out, and then the crowd's hollering, one more time, and he gets up and he does it one more time, so he knocks Mr. Frazier another loop, as they say. So yes, Dragunov pulls this one out and is ready for a big match that he has upcoming. All right, let me see where we at here. Oh, yeah, the the whole thing earlier about Dragunov getting so mad at Mr. Frazier was because of the promo that Baron cut last week, explaining the different lifestyles. Where Corbin's at home and in his native country and able to relax, and he's wealthy, and how Dragunov is away from his family and everything. So that's what they were talking about in the locker room when Dragunov came in and caused the match. So now they cut in, and after the match, and Baron Corbin is gonna capitalize, on the whole deal, and he cuts a good little promo, pretty much saying, "Man, if you get that mad off of somebody mentioning your family," and then he goes into it. So yeah, I kind of liked it. And then after that, they do a little promo with Lyra Valkyra. And she is pretty much talking about the opponents, and Valen Henry shows up and pretty much says, that she's going to win her, the Iron Survivor Challenge, and that she will be facing her. But there is some kind of weird, creepy lady behind the curtain. I didn't see exactly, just a weird, creepy person behind the corner, or behind the curtain. So yeah, there we go. From there, here we go. Now we're getting into a little black belt karate going against Ariana Grace. Now with Carmen and Ariana, with Ariana's persona is the beauty queen. And Carmen in this deal is the black belt that is tired of Ariana cutting everybody down. So they have their match, and Carmen's gonna, she definitely has some martial arts training, because the moves, even in the promo, were just too correct. So definitely on that end, and she, throws a little butt whooping down on her a while, but this angle that this character that Ariana's playing, she does it pretty good. Now she sells the matches pretty good. Carmen being able to just some of the kicks, and you can just tell that she's definitely knows her martial arts. So you would expect her to win this match kind of easy. But bam, we've got a good match in this one. There's one point where Ariana's wanting people to kiss her hand. It used to be in the old days kiss the ring, and so they play off of this real good. And it looks like Carmen's going to win this match. But when they get into the corner, Ariana goes to the eyes, is able to pull a couple moves, and then wham bam, you've got a winner there. But the match is good. So like I said, the show has been surprisingly all the way through really good. Cannot complain. Let me see, where do we go from there? We got during this, I'm so sorry, right before this match starts, Joe Gacy cuts a promo, and he's under the ring. So he, at one point in time, jumps out and takes the bell, the ring announcer's bell, and just takes off with it. So when they go to finish this match, they don't have a bell. So it's kind of funny. Good little angle there. They're just trying to, I guess, keep Gacy in the relevance, or in the so. But they're gonna go to Jensen, Brooks and Jensen, with Brooks and Fallon. They're gonna come out to the ring, and he's got a match with Lexis King. And I like this little entrance they do with Lexis. He's on on his throne, and it slides in the spot. He gets off, and he's not quite of the smart aleck that his dad was, for sure, but he's working on it. He's getting better and better. Yeah, he comes out to the ring for this match, and Jensen's going to put on, a good match or whatever like that. But where they've got to go with this, so. And I don't know, I guess in AEW, they just didn't give Pillman a push. They didn't, he didn't show me nothing when he was over there. But I got to say that he looks better. Here, he sells good. He was always good with most of his moves. And Jensen, of course, is a big old guy. I mean, he can almost do like a cartwheel leg kick upside the head. I mean, geez, for a guy that size. And Brooks is bigger than him, so anyway, they do some good fighting and everything, and it looks like the match is going to be what you'd expect. Jensen's going to maybe pull an upset or something, but no. You've got Mello coming out and trying to jump into the match, and Brooks stops him. So I mean, it's a. Or I'm sorry, Riggs stops him from getting in. So, of course, that ticks Mello off, but it causes a distraction. Again, there's your distraction. And a little angle there. Little angle. And bam. Next thing you know, Lexus pulls off a couple moves, and he wins the match. So he's getting his push. Afterwards, and so yeah, we definitely see how they're going with that. Now let me see. I'm just going back over some of these moves. I was trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. This was a great match. Not great match. It's a really good match. So definitely worth going back and watching. But of course, now you've got to go into this fatal four-way with Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, and Johnny Gargano, Mr. Wrestling Gargano. So, and I know Johnny's good or whatever. I never was a big Gargano guy. Grimes, I liked him. Bronson, love him. Or whatever, but most of my friends are Gargano kind of people, so definitely good, for sure, good, but this match, it just looks like it should be a no-brainer, and Bronson wins this match, and they're going to do this match like it should. You're going to have times where all three of the smaller, opponents are going to, jump on Bronson. They do all of the typical things that you would do, but they did it a little better and a little different. Let me see. They did a groin shot, a little yam bag shot using, I think it was Gargano uses with a catapult and does it with Grimes' head. It looked good, man. Let me see. And this whole thing was, if Wes Lee does not win this match, then he can never challenge for the North American title again as long as Dominic has it. The yam bag shot was just freaking great. I didn't like they were doing a move where Bronson's going to get the whole freaking ring, everybody, and put him on his shoulders and do a slam. Now, one picking up one, then the other. Okay, looks okay. But the guy, he goes to the corner, and then the guy just climbs on the group, and then he slams him. I don't like that. Just didn't look good. Wouldn't look good live. But anyway, it was impressive. I'm not trying to act like get off my lawn. But it was what it was. But they did, doing power bomb all three of the guys with Bronson. That was big time. You could see the legs wobbling a little bit, and I counted one mess up, and it was it was Wes and Cameron. And they made it look good, and then they went right back to the move. So, I mean, just really good. Bronson does a press slam. He catches Wes and does a press slam on to the other guys. I mean, it's just looking like you know what you're about to get, but you got to have an angle. This has got to look good. All these guys are great. You don't want anybody to look bad on this. And so we insert Ibar, the Viking warrior. Yeah, he apparently is still got a thing going on with Bronson, and he jumps Bronson, and they proceed to fight back to the locker room. So, when Bronson was Dominic's hitman, or his lynchman, or his hired hand, or his whatever you want to call it, mercenary, whatever, in this thing. So when he gets out of the match, Dom is screwed because Mummy gave him a little raise in his allowance so he could do it. Yes, that's right. I'm going straight storyline here. But yeah, so you're going to have the three guys in there to have a good finish, and they deliver a good finish. It's one after the other. They make it look good. In the end, though, Wes is going to Gargano gets knocked down. Wes is going to end up getting the big kick he does, and pins Cameron Grimes. So Wesley will be challenging at Deadline Dominic Mysterio. So maybe maybe they're gonna the Ibar trick was, they're keeping Ibar relevant too, since his partner's hurt, so they're keeping him in the storyline too. So they've definitely got plans for these guys in the future. So so you're thinking, okay, now we know what's upcoming, and we've got next week's show. They've already done the promos, so you're thinking everything's about done. You're about to change the channel or whatever, and then bam, they come out of nowhere, and you got Roxanne Perez and Kiana James fighting out in the parking lot. And it was okay. It's definitely not a Channel 5 wrestling, Memphis wrestling back in the day in the parking lot, because back in the day they threw people through windshields and they hit them with moving cars. So not that, but pretty good. But it's a good little way to end the show. So so they've upped the quality. I'm believing a little bit more on NXT, and then after this past week with the main roster, the additions, everybody thought maybe it was on a downward slide, new ownership in there, but are we going to end up calling Triple H the Booker of the people, the Booker of the fans? Who knows how this is going to go, but man, everything's the future's so bright, man. They got to wear shades, as the old song says. So, but yeah, let me go back through here. I believe we got everything. We took care of everything. So, man, we don't want to mess it up by talking too much. That's for sure. But I just want to thank you guys for listening. So if you hear my voice, thank you. Even if you tuned in wrong, looking for one of the other podcasts, I appreciate it. But guys, thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and end it like we do every week. If you can get out and help them shelters any way you can, do what you can if you can, and of course, spay and neuter. And man, this is Memphis Mark, and we're out of here, guys.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.